Peace to the family. Peace to the family. Yeah, we here. Man, we're gonna do this for y'all. We're gonna go into the archives for the family. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna play this Dick Gregory for y'all. This one right here was called Wake Up Call. And what's unique about this is that the Wake Up Call, it actually had an opening by Dr. Lliala Afrika. We got them archives, man. You know what I'm saying? And you ain't gonna find too many people around the country that got catalog like we got at Reality Speaks. So we're gonna play part one for y'all, you know what I'm saying, here, live through wherever you're gonna be, YouTube, Facebook, wherever you be. And part two, y'all gonna have to go to the page. Y'all gonna have to go to the YouTube page, and so that you can actually look at part two. And you actually gonna have to, share and subscribe. We can't be playing around this year, man. Reality Speaks. We got 26 years of long, hard struggle to bring information and knowledge to the people, and now we really have to get this out in 2022. We got to get into y'all got to help us get into this media, because we've been the people that's been putting out the media. So as we master this, we do great things, but we need y'all help to share this, share it, share this all around. This is the Honorable Dick Gregory. We got a whole bunch of, probably nobody has a larger archive than we have at Reality Speaks with a lot of the different lectures, even Dr. Lliala Afrika, Brother Anthony Browder, Brother Ranoko Rashidi, Dr. Patricia Newton. We have very large archives of that, of events that we've done with Reality Speaks. So let's get into it. Don't forget, for those who want to support, we do have the fundraiser still going on. That 1317 fundraiser, because of the new shop that we're trying to open up in the beginning of next year. That's coming up, which is a couple days ago. And by the way, a Baragani family, Jima, collective work and responsibility. It's Kwanzaa time. Also like to give, attended a home going or ascending to the ancestral rim of Baba Tunji, Soul School Institute legend here in Baltimore, legend. And we'll never forget his name. And of course, we'll be doing special tributes and dedications and all kinds of stuff to Baba Tunji, who was a teacher of mine. So really appreciate that, brother. So, hey, y'all see the Cash App. Y'all see the, when you donate, if you love what we doing, spread the word. But this year, we need all of y'all. I need everybody out there on our Facebook page, everybody, to start spreading and start sharing, help us get out there, because, we helped everybody else, including some of your top lecturers that's lecturing today, came through Reality Speaks. So we need to get this page up and running. We gonna get that consistency rolling and get it going. But let's get y'all some of this Dr. Afrika. I skipped through a little bit. Get y'all this Dr. Afrika.
To explain that to him. I wonder what would have happened had he not listened. But they brought, the wise men, they brought all kind of riches, the camels was full. You'd be surprised how quick you can convince a nigga when you bring gifts.
All right, wait a minute, I'm getting this straight, y'all. Getting this straight. We're gonna start from here. Wait a minute, let me share.
We can enjoy the freedoms, so we can enjoy camaraderie, so that we can continue to struggle in their names. And so we pour libation in order to do that. So can everybody stand up? Okay, libation is like a prayer. Is not respected. Oh, I'm sorry. Keep standing. I should have said that initially. Okay. Okay. There we go. Now we'll recite the African pledge. African pledge was derived by Sir Marcus Garvey. It's a pledge that we should all memorize. And if you could raise your right fist in the air, it's a symbol of your loyalty to the struggle. And repeat after me. I pledge allegiance to my people, the African race, the original man and woman of the earth, and the founders of civilization. I pledge to continue the struggle, which will help to bring my beloved brothers and sisters to total freedom. I pledge to study and discipline myself, mentally, physically, and spiritually, so that I may grow into a soldier for justice. Because my people need strong and intelligent warriors. I pledge to live my life standing tall for a person on his or her knees is not respected. And if I am challenged, I must say that I will not surrender my position nor my dignity, but instead we shall endure until the final victory is won. Ashe. Now you can sit. Up when we have some kind of condition, and so he teaches us how to take care of ourselves, because when you're on war, people get injured. And so without further ado, I'd like to present to you Dr. Lliala Afrika.
Good evening, my brothers and sisters. It's a pleasure to be here, and of course all of us who attempted to get here today, some of us didn't make it because some other obstacles took us off this path. So I guess we're some of the lucky ones that got here. None of you were chased here by the Klan, I don't think. So we're here to discuss health and also discuss the mental part of it and the spiritual part of it, not just health generally like you usually hear it spoken about. We're really not concerned about what the health of the Japanese are and the Mexicans are and all those other people are. We're concerned about our health. We have a problem in our village. Our problem starts, of course, with the highest mental illness rate of any race in America. We are just plain crazy. It's not that Leroy's lazy and laying around and don't want to get a job, and Leroy's depressed. So we have to label things correctly so we can get out of this problem in the correct manner. Information means nothing if it's not in the power of a righteous person. You can give a fool information too, but that's not going to go anywhere. So we got to have our brain in the right shape to receive the information and understand that it's no accident that we are the sickest people in America, that we have the highest diabetes rate of any race in America. And when you throw that whole thing about slavery out of the equation, then you don't know what's going on. This was set up by our diet that was introduced to us during colonialism and slavery. That's why we were put on this high-fat and high-starch diet from the beginning. Slavery was not driven by steak. It was driven by fats, processed fat. We even call it fat back and fat bacon. And we put the fat in greens because we were taught to eat this fat because fat produced the most labor out of us. So we're still on a high-fat diet today and a high-processed starch diet today, which according to the slave journals is the most devastating diet to be on. It causes bone deformities, women with knock knees, birthing problems. And we have to be mindful that that connection to slavery is still with us because we're still eating the same way. We're still eating the same way, and we're still getting the same diseases that we got during that period of time. Be mindful that food is sold to us by military people. We were brought here by military people. And we have to understand that we're being attacked by military people. The people that control the board of Ralston Purina and Monsanto and Toyota are retired generals. And they don't stop being generals because they're out of the military. Despite what you may think, Colin Powell is still in the military. He's still following orders. So we are being approached that way with military logic, which is based on misdirection and deception. Misdirection and deception. That's how everything is sold to us. McDonald's sells us food based on emotions, not on nutrition. That's why you don't know anything about calcium, magnesium, and vitamins and minerals. That's the business that McDonald's in. You should have an understanding of nutrition since that's McDonald's business. But McDonald's sells things based on emotions. It's a misdirection and deception. And that's how we approach each other militarily. That's how we manage our relationships militarily. Somebody's the slave and somebody's the master. Some of us are proud about that. We don't want visas, we want MasterCards. That's why we still have master bedrooms in our house today. And proud to say, that's my master bedroom. Because we're still connected to that diet and the behavior that's destroying us. We say stupid things that make sense to other stupid people that happen to be your stupid relatives. One of those things is soy milk. Everybody hears about it. Rice milk. I ain't never seen no titties on a soybean. There's no such thing as soy milk. It's soy juice. It's rice juice. But see, this kind of misdirection and deception is you think you're getting something beneficial because it came out of a titty. See, it's emotional they having you attached to this food. You say some stupid things. As far as I know, chicken have chests. There ain't no such thing as chicken titties. There ain't no chicken breasts. You buying chicken chests. But when you've been miseducated so skillfully, one ignorance comes in and then another one comes in, and it becomes very easy for you to be in the stupid condition that you're in. Intelligence rules the world. Ignorance carries the burden. Marcus Garvey. So we have to let loose some of this ignorance about what's going on here. We have been taught to eat by someone who knows nothing about food. Be aware of that. They treat the food the same way they treat the things they ate before they start eating apples. They gutted out the pig, they gutted out the horse, they gutted out the dog, and you present an apple to them, what they're going to do? Gut it out. They're going to take the core out and throw it away. Treat it like it's an animal. That's what they're going to do. And that's what you do. You gut out the apple like it's some wild animal, a deer or horse or something. You're throwing away the fiber. If you eat the apple, eat the core. I know your master didn't tell you that, but I'm telling you that you're throwing away the fiber. That's what you want. Eat the core of the apple. Who taught you how to eat this food? Who has the knife the closest to the plate of all races? Your master do. You have to understand that eating the way we eat is no accident. If you want to manipulate the consciousness of a people, the best food to put them on is carbohydrates. Carbohydrates cause mood swings, irritability. You call one of those carbohydrates sugar. But if you want to manipulate people, the food that's more responsible for your mood and state of consciousness is carbohydrates. Put them on starch. Put a husband and wife on starch, sugar, ice cream, all kind of carbohydrates. They're going to irritate each other. And the relationship is going to fall apart, and they're going to walk away from each other saying, honey, you sure treat me bad. Sweetie, what happened to us? Sugar happened to you. That's right, honey. That's what happened to me. Walk away, addicted as you were when you got in it. This sugar, without it, there would be no junk foods. Read the label. Sugar's in Pringles, sugar's in mustard, sugar's in mayonnaise, sugar's in ketchup, sugar sprayed on French fries, sugar's in tobacco. Without sugar, there would be no junk foods. So we got to be aware that we're being attacked through our stomachs. Something should tell you, it must be something wrong with this food because my teeth are rotting out. Most of y'all are teethers, don't have any. By the time you get 13 or so, you done lost most of your teethers. So if the food is that much devastating to you already, what's it doing to you when it later in life occurs? Some kind of way, we have lost our way. We have lost our ability to find out what is good for us and what is bad for us. We know that food is attached to culture. We know that you cannot be healthy and cultureless. You cannot be free and cultureless. We know the Asians come over here, the Chinese come. We know they open up a produce market and send for their food. They don't care if all the food on the plate's organic. If they Chinese can't see China on the plate, they don't eat. You know they open up a produce. You know they send for their own food. You call it Chinese food. You call it Italian food. You call it after the culture. Food is attached to culture. It's not that you off your diet and you're sick. It's you off your culture. Your culture attaches you to food. Your culture makes you aware of where you belong in life and how far you got to go and where you came from. It helps you navigate through your problems in life. If you don't understand how to solve your economic problems, you read your history. Your history is your source of information. Some ancestors figured this thing out a long time ago. History should help you define yourself and give you a solution to your problems. It's not about dates and all of that stuff. That's European history. You got to have this history around you. You bring some young boys in and try to play some basketball or some football, you got to bring some historians around. Somebody know the game, the history. You call them a coach. That's the historian. That's the information they need to navigate through this game. You understand what I'm saying here? You cannot walk in a European classroom, history, chemistry, biology, the first thing you got to read is history. Newton's law. You got to read the history first. They got to anchor you in this thing, and they got to connect you to history, because history is culture, food is culture, dancing is culture, music is culture, dressing is culture. And when you sit down to eat with Chinese, Japanese, Koreans, you don't have nothing on the plate that resembles you or look like you. Maybe it looks like your mind, white rice, white grits, but it don't look like you. I don't know what to say. I'm the one who goes around to the schools in England, Barbados, St. Vincent, St. Croix. I'm the one who sees your children. I'm the one who sees this problem, the sex problems they have in their schools, the masturbation problems they have in their school. And some of y'all look kind of handy out there now. We're losing this thing. You give the child some sugar in the morning, that makes them hyper. They send them to school, they put them on Ritalin. The sugar is driving the whole special education industry. Don't you get it? Because we're emotionally attached to this food. It's white. It has to be right. White rice, white flour, white grits, white sugar, white salt. If OJ was here, I would say something else. We're attached to this white. We have to go back to eating colored food because we colored people. Got it? And you're not going to walk away from McDonald's as easy. McDonald's going to kick some ass before he lets you go. You're not going to take that money out of that man's hand that easy. You got to fight for your life. They're not going to give up your mouth. A fork and a spoon in the hands of an ignorant person is a damn weapon. They're not going to give up your mouth that easy. We are everybody's paycheck. If you come to America and you want to make some money, open up a store in the black community. You're everybody's paycheck. You think the Koreans going to let go of all them nails that quick? No. The first thing we have to do is divorce you from your culture. Take it out of the educational system. Take the drum out the classroom. Take it out. Don't let anyone who knows something about history from a black perspective open their mouth. Because you're still being taught that Columbus discovered America and discovered Africa. Because there's no one black in that classroom teaching you anything. There's some chocolate-covered white people in there. Professional Negroes, certified. But you got to fight for your life for yourself. The first attack you have to make and victory you have to make is over that plate in front of you. That's your first weapon. That's your first march to freedom, because you can't be free and constipated. All you're going to do is kill the people behind you from farting. You got to stop being constipated and following these constipated leaders. They can't even lead you to the bathroom. They constipated. Roll of toilet paper lasts them about a week. That's right. Turd come out to ask a senior citizen looking for a nursing home. We need health to see a healthy solution. We didn't come over here sick. We didn't come over here with arthritis. We didn't come over here with cavities. We didn't come over here with fibroid tumors. We didn't come over here with prostate disease. We didn't come over here with Leroy looking for Harry. We did not come over here like that. Somebody introduced you to this. This is their food. History will prove me correctly. They brought us to the Caribbean to make white sugar for them. That is their food. You got to draw a line. This is mine, this is theirs. But some of us are too afraid to do that. We figure we'll lose our pension. And it ain't no pension anyway. We're afraid to be free. That's what it is. We're totally afraid. Ask Harriet Tubman. She had to pull a gun on these Negroes, and they were in chains. They were in chains. She had to pull a gun on them. So I don't expect any of you out here to give up sugar or salt or milk. I don't expect it at all. I have no hope for you whatsoever. I'm telling you. None. You gone. You're totally gone. What keeps me focused is to always remember that black people are still buying perfume, scented toilet paper, and their ass can't smell it. That keeps me focused. You can't get no more stupid than that. We have to be about presenting an example for the children so they can define a solution to this problem, because our brain's gone, totally gone. We have to give them the conditions so they can solve this problem, because this is no problem to them. Revolutions are led by young people. That's what they run. Young people run this thing. Science is run by young people. When Darwin did his best work, Einstein did his best work, he was in his 20s. Science is run by young people. History is run by young people. And so we have to present them with the environment so they can solve this problem, because your brain's gone. It's totally gone. There's nothing to download. Am I finished? Oh yeah, great. Let me stop. I don't need to talk anymore. I can stop in a minute. So, what I'm here to do is introduce Dick Gregory. I met Dick Gregory, he probably doesn't remember, in Atlanta. And I used to have a little practice and all that sort of stuff. And I saw him in a downtown in some place, and he was walking around. I said, "Hey man, what you doing?" And he said, "I'm looking for some popcorn for my wife." I said, "Okay, let me walk around with you." So we walked around for about a half an hour together looking for this popcorn. Then some people recognized him and say, "Dick Gregory!" And they came swamping on him like a bunch of buzzards, you know? So I just backed up off. I said, "I'll see you later, man." But I was walking with him while we were looking for this popcorn. He said, "You're a vegetarian." I hadn't said nothing to him. I said, "Yeah." He said, "You've been a vegetarian about 8 or 9 years." I said, "Yes, right." I didn't know. I didn't say anything to him. He told me that. And I just said, okay. And I just walked around him while he was looking for popcorn, and that was the last time I saw him. Then he called me up one day and said, "Hey, why don't we write a book together? You do that black thing, and I do this other thing. We got him." I said, "Okay, man, let's do that." So I flew to California, sat down with him. We were working on this book. And Stevie Wonder called, and Andrew Young called, and this one called. I said, "Damn, it's never going to get done." He said, well, you ain't doing that. Why don't you be in this movie? I said, "A movie? Something called the Black Panthers?" About the Black Panthers. I said, "No, I came out here to write a book." I said, "I'll catch you another time." So he was in D.C. I flew up to D.C. I said, "Ready to work on this book?" He said, "Yeah." So we sat down and worked on the book. Next thing I know, this person called, Jocelyn, whatever name called, that one person. I said, "We ain't gonna never get nothing done here." We've been working on this book for well over 10, 15 years now. But his dedication to what we are about has been the most powerful thing about Brother, to me. Brother Gregory is dedicated. During the 60s or so, he even walked out to try to calm down some Negroes with bad food stamps. He got shot trying to calm down some black folks. I said, "Man, I run first." He walking out there calming them down, bullets flying all over the place. That's how dedicated the man is. And that's what we need. We need 100 of Dick Gregory's. But we have been blessed with one. And that's the main thing. We got one, and that's all we need. That's all we need, and we're blessed with this one. And anytime you're around him, there's always opportunity to learn something. I've never been around him and didn't learn something. He's an athlete. He puts his money where his mouth is. He marched with Martin Luther King. He's been with Malcolm. He's there. Whenever somebody says they're going to help black people, he's there. That's what he's about. So when I have opportunity to introduce him, I'm there. There's no question about it. So I don't want you to give him no flowers before he dies or anything, because he's a vegetarian, he's going to eat them. I just want you to open up your heart and love him the way I do. That's right. So without further accord, as they say, Brother Dick Gregory. Oh, thank you. Very good. Bye.
Thank you. Good. No. It won't. Okay.
If it?
That's good. Okay, fine. Let me first say we thank and praise God that we all made it here safely today. And I pray to God that your return and my return will be equally as safe. I'll probably be mentioning God a couple of times tonight, but when y'all hear me say God, I'm not talking about them isms and osms and that crazy stuff that a lot of people be into that don't work. God is very real. That's right. And God don't have to be validated by you. I called a friend of mine that just bought him a $7 million house. And I said, Jeff, how you doing, baby? He said, I woke up this morning. I said, nigga, people going to electric chair woke up this morning. You can't find a better reason for waking up than you woke up. And you should stay asleep. Somewhere when you stop and think about the games, I was talking to some Christian group in Budapest not too long ago, and I told them, I really don't know about you white folks over here, but I have probably one of the best research teams on the market, and but I do know about America, and so what y'all need to do is come check out America. And I can tell you one thing about America. No, I'm fine. I didn't mean to fix it right. Thank you. I was just seeing if you was paying attention. And I said, one of the beautiful things about America is it's all there. It's just raw. And I just want to say to you Christians over here on the other side of the water, because I have never studied you or researched it, but if you come over to America and check out the penitentiary and the penal system, there are no atheists on death row. So you Christians and Muslims and whatever, you live with that. What is it about someone that don't believe in God that don't kill? Huh? I mean, when I was a little boy growing up, they talking about World War II. They said there are no atheists in the foxholes. Any of y'all ever heard that statement? Yes. Because they would go to jail and be killed before they kill somebody. That's right. So maybe most of the Christians in this country need to study atheists. Not that you won't believe in God, but at least, you know. So somewhere, when you stop and think about money is not power, education is not power, information is power. And this is the beautiful thing about what's happening here tonight. It's about information. Brother Africa have one of the foremost of minds when it comes to herbs and kindness on the planet. And so we need to say first, let me say thanks to those who's responsible for this evening. My job's very easy. My job easy. All I have to do is just produce a body. But a whole lot of work went into making this happen. Second, let me say to the folks that do the invisible part, the part that we don't see. The mic didn't just jump up. That's right. The room just didn't open itself. The heat didn't just show up. And unbeknown to most of us who it is, when we leave here, somebody will clean up in here after we're gone. So for all those folks that do the physical part, we say thank you. God bless you. And thirdly, to those of you, I've looked around, ain't no homeless people in here. And so for those of you who interrupted your schedule to be here like I did, I had something to do, so I didn't come because I had nothing to do. Most of you are here because you interrupted your schedule. And had you not made that decision, the rest of it wouldn't have mattered. So to you and you and you and you, we say thank you and bless you. And this thing is moving fast now. And so those of you that ain't ready for the swiftness, I say have fun and have fun quick because recess just about over. And there is nobody in this country in any darkness no more than black folks. It's unreal to think you come over here on the boat with the boy and don't know him. Huh? Think you cute. Huh? Walk around talking about the melanin this, and white folks ain't got no melanin, but you do know drugs and alcohol mess up your melanin. That's right. And then don't get upset over this white boy. Why should he tell you the truth no more than Hitler and them Nazis would be honest with the Jews? That's right. But you was born with a God-given intelligence that make you see through the trick if you're not hateful. Huh? I can't believe I live in a country where you get sick and you try all kind of prescription medicine that have side effects. But love, there are no negative side effects with love. Huh? 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 There are no negative side effects with kindness and niceness. Black men, they mess your head as well. They got you believing being polite and kind, you're a punk. Somewhere. And we made it this far. I really didn't start worrying about black folks till Clinton. If there could be anybody on the planet more evil than the devil, it's Clinton. That's right. But you got niggas think he's some kind of God. All the drugs that come in the country comes through Mena, Arkansas, and he controls it. That's right. Huh? He put 1.5 million black men in jail under his watch. Huh? They didn't put that many in jail in South Africa. That's right. Huh? He's the one that ordered Ron Brown to be killed, because if Ron would have made it back off that trip, he was going to tell it all because he had already been subpoenaed. Now, I don't want y'all that didn't know to get hip all at once. And our big problem with our children is they was raised by ignorance, us. Huh? And then we don't want to admit that my problem is a white racist system. That's right. I go to conferences all over in America. Black folks, and racism ain't even on the program. That's right. Not even on the agenda. Huh? Well, I'll be honest with you. I blame everything on white folks when I wake up in the morning. I wake up, get out of bed, and say, "You did it." My wife said, "Did what?" I don't know. I know they did something while I sleep. Huh? If I woke up this morning with a hemorrhoid, I say, "White folk did it." But you blame all the stuff on you. If our young folks would just learn good English. You got a white boy, governor of California, can't even pronounce the state. Huh? And you think your problem is English? If you look at white folks' stats, a black with a PhD is 85 times more likely to get turned down the first time they get a home mortgage than a white boy that dropped out of high school. But there's a God that keeps giving you messages. You know, there's a lot of people in here taping, so if y'all got babies that want to talk, that's cool, they should, but take them outside. I mean, think about this. You have that should hear stuff. But you can't hear it if you're full of hatred and meanness and ornery. But if you're pure, you heard something last month. That's right. You ain't never turned on TV, turned on the radio, pick up the paper and said, there's a bad shipment of cocaine that came in, poison, throw it away. You never seen somebody say, bulletin, Budweiser admitted that 10 million bottles of Budweiser accidentally had arsenic put in it. You drink it, you die. Throw it away. You never seen that. Turn on TV and they say, organic spinach, if you have it, throw it away, it will kill you. Spinach? There's nothing ever been wrong with cocaine? Just spinach? Organic spinach? Then they say, throw it away. Oh, no, I'm taking mine back to Safeway. And then right after that, then they alerted everybody to organic carrot juice. Then after that, lettuce. We say, well, I mean, is there a bad pork chop out here anywhere? You see, one day we got to forget about white supremacy. It's the only thing you got to worry about. Racism, sexism, prejudice. No, it's white supremacy. And most white folk don't even understand that. White supremacy was at its best 2 months ago, really messed up my marriage. A bunch of drunken thug PhD white folks met in Budapest with some white hoes with PhDs. And when they came out the meeting, they said, Pluto do not exist. And nobody checked it out. I didn't see niggas outside looking up in the sky and say, what? Not one news media, radio, TV said, what do you base it on? We're not saying you're not true, but what do you base it on? That's right. You don't have to base it on nothing with white supremacy. Pluto was here for white folk, black folks, Indian, Chinese, anybody. And just one swoop, Pluto don't exist. And I called my wife, I've been married 47 years, I called my wife, I said, baby, you're so nice and kind, I hate to have to break this to you, but I'm filing for a divorce tomorrow. She said, why? I said, well, I just found out Pluto don't exist, and you know, I married you because you had Pluto rising. And one day when you understand with that little weak power you got, because you control your house or boss some woman or child around, ain't a damn thing none of you sitting here could do when that redneck decided Pluto don't exist. Huh? It's a game. And all you got to do is just listen, be still, be quiet. They got all this new technical, scientific stuff. Well, it's cool if you understand it. If you don't understand it, you should. That's why you should not be alone. You should have little clubs and stuff you join where somebody know. You don't have to know it. This sister over here cook good sweet potato pie. This sister over here cook good greens. You don't have to know when you got a group. So somewhere, say, well, look here, I don't, you know how many niggas don't know what stem cell is? And they talk about it every day. You don't have to know that, ain't nothing but a trick. But at least you should have the type of setting where somebody in the group can explain to you what stem cell is, so when your children come and say, Mommy, Dad, what's stem cell? If you're going to live here, then you must look for the crack in the fabric. They got this new pill out, this wonder pill. You can just pop it and you can get pregnant. I hate to talk about pregnancy because white folks that mess up y'all's mind. They run around talking about babies, having babies, and you niggas fall right into that. Children having children. Well, y'all know anything about Jesus Christ and Mary? God impregnated her at 13 years old. Huh? And then God had a hell of a time with Joseph because Joseph wasn't really buying into it. If y'all read that stuff right, Joseph wasn't buying into none of that. $13 years old. They had to send
All right, fam. About to add the next one. Keep it moving. Keep it moving. Do-do-do-do-do-do.
Joseph to explain that to him. I wonder what would have happened had he not listened. But they brought, you know, the wise men, they brought all kind of riches. You know, the camels was full. You'd be surprised how quick you can convince a nigga when you bring gifts. So my thing is, if God, the boss, and I don't have no problem believing in God, can impregnate a 13-year-old, then don't tell me I can't knock up a 14-year-old. I'm following God with a year's grace. So now they got all these pills you can pop. My mama's sister, 94 years old, popped them pills. Went over to Europe on a vacation, got with them white folks, and they tell the girl, let me tell you, you never had no children? No, never been married. Take these pills. And they work. She had twins, 94 years old. Live in Kenlock, Missouri. Press came in from all over the world to report it. Percy had to give it a test because they didn't believe it.
Pause real quick. We're gonna keep these lectures coming, fam. Like I said, you know what I mean, this is gonna be 2022. It's gonna be on and popping. We got thousands. We got a lot of different lectures, a lot of stuff that we did through the years, you know what I mean, with bits and pieces. And we got some live streams that we're gonna be doing. So, you know, let's continue. Please share, and please go to YouTube after this and continue to share this and subscribe to the page.
Healthy twins. So I said to my wife, I said, well, at least since she is kinfolks, I might as well go there and check them out, just in case the press asks me about it. So I go. There's like 30 people sitting around the house waiting to see the twins. So I go, hey, Nellie, how you feel, baby? Say, I'm all right. Say, I just come by to see the babies. Oh, sit down. So I sit down. So I asked the other folks, how long y'all been sitting? They say, 3 hours. I said, what y'all here for? I said, we're waiting to see the twins. So she came back out, and I said, these people been sitting here 3 hours to see the twins. How come we got to wait so long? She said, well, I'm waiting on them to cry so I can remember where I put them. Scientific data, huh? And you know, the same thing, when the planet one, we got the same mind you had then. It's just they got better ways of programming it. It ain't nothing but just thinking. It's not bitterness, it's just thinking. And stop thinking somebody over here is living better than you, and that ain't even what it's about. Oh, so-and-so, they had a good college. Well, I live down the street from Harvard and MIT, and I got 10 brilliant children. What they don't tell you is Harvard and MIT have more suicides in 1 year than all the Big Ten schools have in 20. But they play them off like they are citadel of intellectuality, and they really ain't nothing but cesspools of filth. Huh? But once they bend your head over there and they determine the criteria of what goodness is, what pretty is, what ugly is, what love is. I went with a friend of mine the night before Halloween. We was looking for some costumes. Had this white friend of mine, rich old white boy. Loved me. So I said, man, I hate to interrupt your time, but this friend of mine got to get a costume for her son, so I'd like for you to go with me, and I want to show you something. So we said, sure, whatever you want me to do. So I showed him. I said, look at all these costumes. I mean, where rich folks go. All the costumes. Dracula, Wolfman, Hitler, Napoleon. So he said, what do you want me to see? I just want you to see that there's no faces y'all wear tomorrow that look like me. Huh? Hitler? Dracula? Huh? No Sidney Poitier? Huh? Now when you got one day of the year to look like anybody you want to look like, and none of you want to look like me, don't tell me you love me. Somewhere. So it's just be happy for who you are. If you ain't, that's your fault or your mama's fault because they didn't pump a bunch of ignorance into you, but you stuck with it. Huh? You got a bad job. Ain't no such thing as a good job. It get 32 below zero. You making below minimum wage. Here's a dude over here with 12 PhDs making $1,000 an hour. He gets just as cold or she gets just as cold as you going to that job. The people that run the world don't work. Queen Elizabeth ain't never had that. You got more intelligence in your baby finger than Prince Charles got in his whole body. The boy ain't never worked. You know why? Because his mother never taught him you got to get a job. Huh? My mama's told me that. I looked at her like she was a fool. Then she looked back like she's going to hurt me, and I went out there and got me a job. But you got to first stop thinking there's somebody over here who you don't know. It can be your brother, your sister. You ain't with them all the time. They doing better than you. Try checking them out. Boy, I got out here, I was catching hell when I first married my wife, but I didn't act like it. My brothers and them they said, well, we catching hell. I didn't tell them I was because it ain't their business. The problem I had with my wife, I tried to explain to her that fear and God do not occupy the same space. She was scared of debt. When we gonna pay Sears and Roebuck? You act like we got some money. We don't have no money, baby. And when I get money, Sears and Roebuck is not my first priority. They knew I wasn't gonna pay for that stuff when I got it. You know, on the back of the application, they said, who's gonna pay for this? I wrote your mama. I walked in the house 2 weeks later, I thought my old lady was just going crazy. She said, here's the letter from Sears and Roebuck. It's here, final notice. I said, what's wrong, baby? Final notice, here it is, final notice. Let me see it, final notice. Final notice. Thank God we won't be hearing from them no more. My old stupid brother called me. He was the first black way up with Enron, big money. Millions. Told me how good he was doing. Then they got busted. He lost everything. I called him the other day and said, you know you're going to jail. He said, I didn't do nothing wrong. I said, look, they put them white folk in jail, nigga, you know you're going. He done lost everything, his house, his wife. When a nigga's dog run away. Called me 2 days ago. They about to repossess my car. What must I do? Don't park in front of the house. See, when you go through all them emotional changes, the universal God intelligence stop flowing. Huh? Them folks next door, they might be doing worse than you doing. Stop comparing yourself to anything but you. You know how special you are? Never before or after will there ever be another you. Huh? Huh? It didn't say if you're educated or got billions in it. Never before have there ever been one of you before or one after. Don't you know how special you are? So stop trying to compare yourself. Old cousin in St. Louis, here, a deacon, really want to be a preacher, really want to be the big. He a deacon. The preacher have a parakeet. So he went and bought him a parakeet. That nigga ain't never bought something or animal that he didn't eat. I go by the house and he look all bad. And I said, what's wrong, man? You finally got a parakeet? He said, yeah, but something wrong with my parakeet. I said, what do you mean? Here, let me bring him in here. And all this parakeet say, sex, sex, sex. So I said, what's wrong with that? The parakeet keeping it real. He said, but the preacher's parakeet says, prayer, let us pray. So I talked to the preacher and asked him this Saturday, could I bring my parakeet over there and let him hang out with his parakeet, and maybe my parakeet will get some culture. So Saturday he go by, ring the preacher's doorbell. Preacher come to the door with the parakeet. My cousin's parakeet say, sex, sex. And the preacher's parakeet said, turn out the lights. My prayers have been answered. Huh? See, you got to stop. You got to first sit and meditate. Huh? I remember I violated myself. I do 5 miles every day, walking. A friend of mine flew in town, Jim Kelly, said, hey, man, I'd like to see this trail you walk in. I said, yeah, but let's do it tomorrow. I just finished 5 miles earlier. He said, no, I got to leave town tonight. I said, well, let's do it this evening. Now, normally I don't do 10 miles. So I go out and I walked it with him. He loved it. So I'm home, kind of tired. Huh? Uh-huh.
Thank you. Hi, everybody. I'm sorry to disturb you. However, we have a very serious traffic problem in the parking lot. I'm going to name some cars, and these people, you need to move your cars. One silver Mercury, license plate number MVA215. One red Nissan van, license plate number 770M46. One silver Jeep, plate number 351M443. And one silver Lincoln, plate number 683M896. And this last one I'm going to name, your lights are on in your car. It's a white Lexus, plate number 8AH V14. Thank you.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate that. And so, when you just meditate and just think and move it to another level. So like I said, I went out and walked those 5 miles that evening. I'm tired, and I'm kind of laying down and never relax with the TV or the radio on. Because you ever get tired and you're laying down and you're in that little, like there's some kind of state, you're not sleeping, you're not up, you're just in between. And the radio, the TV's on, they said, bulletin, bulletin. civil rights icon admit baby out of wedlock. I jump up, call my wife and say, Lil, don't have nothing to say to the press. I'm coming home. I can explain it. She said, well, go on back to sleep. They're talking about Jesse. So when you just stop and slow up, and let the energy flow, the God energy. This brother is driving around 10 minutes to 12 in rural Mississippi doing 120 miles an hour. And this white sheriff, I don't know what kind of car he had, caught him, pulled him over. But my cousin, he cool, he don't panic over nothing. The sheriff walked up and said, what's your hurry? He said, what's your hurry? You caught me. He said, well, I got a serious problem. Today is my birthday, tonight at midnight, in about 10 minutes. My wife is throwing a birthday party. Got state troopers coming in, family members, at midnight. Now, in this rural area, if I write you a ticket, which I have to, I got to take you in. I can't let you go. But I've been a state trooper for 37 years. If you can just give me any logical reason why you're doing 120, I'll let you go. I know you can't, but I'm just trying to be fair to my wife. Cuz cool. He said, well, you see, 37 years ago, a white state trooper ran off with my black wife. And when I looked through the rearview mirror and saw you, I thought you was bringing her back. You don't have to be nasty. You don't have to be evil. Huh? Just let it flow. Check this out. These state troopers graduate from state trooper school. And the guy was honest with him. Said, now, you graduate today, but you're not a seasoned state trooper for about 5 to 8 years. You just graduated. And the worst incident is a simple traffic stop. You don't know if the guy can kill somebody or she can kill somebody. They're on the way to commit suicide or do anything. So be very cautious, nice, polite. But in case you all get out there this first week and run across a serious situation, just contain them and call the supervisor. He pulled a brother over. He asked him the usual thing. All right, you know the routine. Registration. And the brother cool. He got melanin. He know how smart he is. He said, well, I just want you to know when you look into the glove compartment, when I open it up, there's a fully loaded 45 automatic pistol. So I just don't want you to panic. And in the trunk of the car, there's 2 dead white men. So my man, he remembered. He got on the phone and called in. Murph, serious. There's a black man here, got a loaded pistol in the glove compartment and 2 dead folks in the trunk. What must I do? Say, just contain him. Don't mess with him. Just pull out your gun. Don't even let him get out the car. Make him put his hands on the steering wheel and sit there till we get there. And he did. About 8, 9 SWAT cars showed up. Snatched him out the car, handcuffed him, put the leg shackles around him. And he looked at my man, said, "Attaboy, Johnny, you did it right." So Murph, supervisor, opened up the glove compartment, ain't nothing in it. He go back, open up the trunk, nothing in it. He walked up to the brother and he said, "Man, maybe you can help me. I was told you had a loaded pistol in the glove compartment and 2 dead white men in the trunk. How do you explain that?" He said, "I guess he told you I was speeding too, right?" So when you think about how nice it is, why are you going to panic? The same intelligence that put the whole universe together is responsible for you. The day you was born, all the wisdom and knowledge that ever was, you brought with you. This civil rights movement is the greatest movement that ever happened in the history of the planet, including Jesus Christ. See, remember, Jesus, they killed him. They didn't mess with the disciples. This movement, they killed everything moving. Anybody that looked like they was going to be a friend of us, they wiped them out. Medgar Evers, the 2 Kennedy boys, They never stopped. Not to mention the ones they framed and put in jail and the ones they pretended was crazy and got them committed to mental hospitals. And yet we keep moving. We keep moving. Somewhere. When you think about who you are, when you leave all that other mess alone. I've been married 47 years and love ain't got nothing to do with it. I got my old lady pregnant and married her, and she told me, "Nigga, if you ever leave me, I'll hurt you." Hurt will keep a brother home for a long time. And when you start making big money, there's another word that'll keep you home called half. And because of this civil rights movement, I don't misunderstand, don't think everybody in the movement know what I'm fixing to tell you, but it was the movement that opened it. It ain't about love. I love you, baby. If I can't have you, ain't nobody gonna have you. It's about, can you be lovable? And then once you become lovable, I'm safe with you, and you safe with me. And black folks need to learn that quick, because the white racist system have made you so mean and bitter and ornery, and you ain't gonna do nothing to them, but you gonna come home and take it out on me, the wife, the children, the whole, And it really ain't your fault. Most of y'all got your attitudes passed down from your mom and dad, and they got it from that, they got it from that. I know my mama beat me because her mama beat her. Her mother beat her because her mother beat her. Her mother beat her, and you can trace it all the way back to slavery. The one thing that redneck nigger hating slave master hated is the same thing they hate today. A black man in America. Because of your genius, your brilliance. They reduced it down to your dick, and some of y'all go for it. They got you thinking you can do it. It ain't that. It's this up here they scared of. And they got you tricked because they didn't even tell you. Only body on planet talk about good pussy but niggas in America. Huh? Yeah, Mildred got some good pussy. Well, she's on her fourth husband. 3 of them niggas didn't think it was that good. What do you know about Mildred? This here. I was telling a friend of mine today, Chrysler was bankrupt. Remember when they had to borrow $1 billion from the government? And that 300, they never had a car. A brother invented that. Huh? 2 of the most powerful magazines on this planet, Time and Newsweek, both of them run by black men. Huh? But they got you reduced to some crime in the street, niggas misbehaving, and you want to grab that. Chenault have always ran American Express, a brother. Avis Rent-A-Car, run by a brother. Out of your 8 top Fortune 500, 5 of them run by black folks. Huh? But they got you reduced down to sports. Or some jive entertainment. Go back and check in the history of the planet. When have an entertainer or athlete ever liberated anybody? What is that? Y'all know more about some old jive entertainers than you do about your own grandparents. Something wrong. So somewhere, that slave master, what's your name, brother? He saw him with an attitude because he saw him hit his mama. And that white boy went and got a whoop and beat him to death. While the rest of the black men stood by and looked. That's what fear do. So the strongest 2 forces in the history of America has always been the black woman and the black church. Black church is the only black institution right now that don't have to check with white folks to find out what time can they open up. And y'all can play all the games you want. Then they take that little punk Flip Wilson and give him a TV show berating the black woman and the black church. I've been here 75 years. I ain't never met no thing like that woman he's supposed to be, or I ain't never met no preacher like Leroy. And niggas run around talking about the black church. They don't do nothing with the money. The Vatican don't neither. You go to a Catholic church tomorrow and put some money. You think they opening up businesses for Catholic? That go to the Vatican. And whatever you can accuse them niggas of doing, they ain't never ripped off my little boys. Do you know what that? I send you to church. A pedophile in the street hustle my children on their own. I don't send my children to a pedophile. I send them to the Catholic church. And when the priest got through, it had the child thinking they did something wrong. That's why you notice that they never remember till they get real old. You ever seen that? You ain't never seen no 15-year-old boy say, yeah, Father O'Malley ripped me off. They old. Why? Because prayers work. Them old priests be ripping them boys off, and they be praying, God, I know what I'm doing ain't right. So I'm not asking you to forgive me, just fix it so they don't remember till they get real old. Huh? And it works. This guy walking down the street, he's 85 years old, with his wife, and start hollering, what's wrong, Milton? Father O'Malley ripped me off. When? In 1804. Somewhere. When you stop and understand your power. Huh? So this beautiful black woman when they saw this evil nigger hating slave man gonna whoop her boy, she said, Master, let me whoop him for you. And she had a dilemma, because the white boy slick. She knows she got to whoop him just 1 point, barely stop from killing him, or the white man gonna do the job. That's where that expression come from. Boy, this gonna hurt me more than it's gonna hurt you. And mom, with her love for that black man, beat him. And she did such a good job, the white boy turned and left. And she picked him up and said, only as a mother can say, let me kiss you where you hurt. Huh? Father can't say that. Brother can't say that. Grandma can't say that. Let me kiss you where you hurt. And now we X amount of generations removed from slavery, and you niggas still whooping children and proud of it? You better do the research. 98% of them thugs that's hardened criminals that misuse women got whoopings from your ass. My mama grabbed my ears when I was 9 years old. I said, bitch, you. She said, what you gonna call you a bitch? Where you hear that? I hear daddy call you that all the time. You don't pull his ears. I was here 2 weeks ago when that thug daddy of mine came home with that hoe in the car and came here and stole the rent money. We got the lights cut out. They threatened to put us out. Then 3 days later, I hear you and him in that room over there making strange sounds. I wish you would put your hands on me again. Honor your mother and father if you're honorable. Huh? If you honorable. Y'all got to stop playing all these old hand-me-down games. Huh? It was good for me. Well, nigga, show me your success. Where's your success? Huh? You working? Yeah, well, I don't even like talk to people working. You cannot be successful with a job. What do you mean by that? Well, go out to the zoo. Y'all got a zoo here? Go to the zoo. The gorilla eat more food and one day than you eat in 6 months. Ain't never had a job. The elephant eat up some food. The elephant gets sick, go to the best animal hospital in the world. You get sick, you're going to take some Motrin. Huh? So my mama said she was upset because my brothers and sisters told her I never said the blessing. I thought saying the blessing was stupid. She said, why? I said, if I don't have no money tonight, Mama, I'm not going to die. If I don't eat tonight, I'm not going to die. She said, what's that got to do with you not saying the blessing? Well, if you put your hand over my nose and mouth for 20 minutes, I'll die. But you never taught me to thank God for oxygen. The most important thing on this planet is oxygen. I'll die if I don't get it. So why I want to thank God for some food and you ain't never taught me to thank God for oxygen? Because when you think about oxygen and how important it is, then you figure out the whole piece. The whole piece. And then you understand God. And when you black folks learn to stop making God a pit bull, God ain't going to take care of nobody for you. What's your name, brother? So you put $1,000 in his bank. Got that? And he go to Europe, man. He on vacation. And you go there and write out a check for $1,500. What's going to happen? Going to bounce, right? But do they have to call him in Europe to tell him? It's already in place, right? Everything in this entire universe is already in place. Once you violate it, don't nobody in the big sky be looking at you. That's already the law. Huh? So these are games. Somewhere. Let me run this past you real quick, then we're going to take a break, and we're going to come back. First, they got books out there, Africa's books there, mine there, we'll sign them. But there's a lot of people out there. Go and just look and see, if it's something you want to buy. And then we'll be back here. Now, let me just finish this part with this. White supremacy works like this. Chavez has come over here, Hugo, and called the president a devil. Y'all remember that? So the white press ran to me and said, Mr. Gregory, Jose Chavez called the president a devil. What's your comment? I said, he must know him. But I want y'all to hear this, then you might understand white supremacy. This president called whole nations evil. Huh? He come over here and called one man the devil. He didn't call everybody in America the devil. And everybody went crazy. Because a white man is permitted to downgrade and belittle whole nations. And that's okay. But for a non-white man to call one person the devil, huh? It's a game somewhere. So when you start understanding this whole game, how they manipulate. They got this little punk, and you niggas, y'all ain't even seen through this trick with this nigga. This little punk, he said, well, my mama's. And then they said, well, we're gonna build him up. We're going to take him to Africa. Who went over there to Kenya? Did y'all see it on TV? Niggas was lined up from the airport to the village. I see something wrong with this. There's niggas in Gary right across the bridge from him that ain't never heard of him. How all these niggas know about him in Africa? And then he messed up. He started talking about corruption. Did y'all see that? Talk about how corrupt those niggas was. And them niggas grabbed him and said, nigga, you stay out of our business. You notice he from Chicago. You ain't never heard him talk about corruption in Chicago. They've been so corrupt in Chicago in the last 8 months, they arrested so many of them white politicians, they ran out of trench coats to put over their head. They ran out of handcuffs. They had to tie him up with rope. But he ain't never opened up his mouth about the corrupt daily machine. But they build this thing up like he's something special and then unleash this nigga on Africa. Let him go to Budapest. Huh? Let him go to Italy and talk about the mob. Huh? Let that nigga go to Afghanistan and talk about drugs. Huh? And so somewhere, y'all got to be real sharp, and that don't mean you got to get some education. You're already born with that God intelligence. And y'all need to get the words to the Negro National Anthem. I didn't say learn them. That's on you. But there's several things you need to read where it says, God of my what? Silent tears. Let me hear y'all say that. God of my what? Boy, them is the worst kind. Huh? God, see, crying is like a tea kettle that's about to blow up because it's too hot. And then you hear that steam. And you hear it, you run, turn it down. Tears don't mean sadness. You can win the lottery and cry over happiness. It's the silent tears. Huh? The silent tears that my wife got cancer, my daughter, my son got cancer, my mother got it and no insurance, and the people at the job don't know I'm in this condition, so I can't tell nobody, so I cry inside. Silent tears. Huh? My daughter's pregnant, and the guy she's pregnant by is a drug addict and got her on drugs, and I can't share that, but because I got a PhD and my wife got a... my silent tears, all y'all had it. God of my silent tears. Huh? That's the price we pay. For y'all stealing me. Put me on conditions that I had nothing to do with. I used to cry out loud, but you whooped me. I cried out loud. My mama said, boy, what's wrong with you? So I learned not to let you see my tears. But hip folks and folks that love you, they see it and they feel it. And they can just touch you, be it a man or woman, and say, what's wrong? You okay, Milton? You okay, Mary? My silent tears. And let me leave you with this, and then there's another little section in that Negro National Anthem. Keep us forever in the what? Keep us forever in the path. We pray. Now, we'll give you this, then we're going to take a break, and I'm going to come back and we're going to have some fun. The next time it rains, look out the window, go get in it. Because if it's raining here now, in about every 10 minutes, trillions of little raindrops. Look and see if you can see. See, sometimes you got to look hard. It's like when you wake up in the morning and an alarm clock didn't wake you up. If you think alarm clock can wake you up, take that alarm clock down to the county morgue and let it go off and see how many jump off that slab. There's a little God intelligence, but sometimes we carried ourselves in a way where we lost the privilege to hear it, although it's there. In the morning, there's a little voice say, wake up, my child. I am God. And I will take care of all your problems today. And I don't need no help from you. Huh? Now, you can't have better instructions than that. This ain't no president. This ain't no president of the bank. This ain't no military. This is the boss that woke you up and say, I will take care of all your problems today. And I don't need no help from you. Just sit back, relax, and enjoy yourself. Huh? So when you look at that raindrop and see it fall, all raindrops, trillions every 5 minutes. All raindrops have one thing in common. They drop, they hit the ground, and they start working their way towards home. Home, the river, the stream, the ocean. That's all they function. After they hit here. Button up your seatbelt now and hear this good. When you come out your mama's womb, your whole function is to get back home. All your PhDs, all y'all can read 50 languages, some can't read none. That ain't the issue. It's working your way back home. And only the black church have been hip enough to call funerals home going. Back home. And it ain't but one road And that road don't give a damn about your leather jacket or your $4,000 boots or your $10 million car. It's one road. And that road, Queen Elizabeth, that make $360 million every 24 hours interest on her money, that winch is on the same road my welfare cousins on. All that other crap is games you play. Whatever you doing, whatever kind of house you got, how many children you got, nigga, all you doing is working your way back home. And when you get home, God don't say what college did you go to, were your bills paid, were you okay? That's the good news. It's that simple. The day you came out your mother's womb, before you start working back home, you had no greed, no hatred, no envy, no holdism, not looking for some pussy. You're on your way back home. None of that were you born with. The most redneck, nigger-hating, Ku Klux Klan crowd was not born disliking me. Huh? Hitler and all them maniac thugs was born the same as everybody else. And on the way back home, they picked up some stuff on the road. Huh? God didn't say he's going to give you a clean road. He's going to give you one road and an intelligence and a kindness and a feeling and a love to know all you got to do is keep walking. Not got some conditions, so I'm going to sell some pussy to feed my children. No, baby. You walking on the road. Death is better. Stanley and Livingston stopped their boat in some little country in Africa. They didn't know what they were, but they were brilliant. They had the scientists with them because they saw something in Africa. They didn't know what it was, and they were studying it. And they get off the boat, and they see these bones. And Stanley and Livingston said, well, these are different bones. So they sent back to the boat for the scientists, and they came out, and they said, well, why y'all so upset? He said, well, we never seen like. He said, these is African bones, about 200 years old. Say, why they look so different? Say, these was the niggas that refused to get on the boat, and they killed them here. That's dignity you looking at. That's dignity. 200 years later, I look at these dead bones, and they tell a story of dignity. Huh? It's just a road. And I remember when I was a little boy, I was 8 years old. My mama told me, say, I'm going to put your good suit on. And I'm going to take you someplace. So she dressed me up, and you know how. And so she said, I'm going to get dressed. You sit on the porch. And I'll come, don't get dirty. So I sit on the, I'm 8 years old. I'm 8 years old sitting on the porch. 8 years old. On the porch. And all my little buddies down there, they playing. And so I jumped off the porch and went down there and played with them. They was mad because I was so clean. They threw me in the mud. And I ran back up the steps and knocked on the door. And my mother said, look at you. Boy, you can't come in this house looking like that. That was my mama. She didn't say I couldn't get in, huh? She said, I'll sit you out there clean, huh? And you come back dirty. You can't get in this house looking like that. And so as we leave for the break, this is what I want to put on you. This road, after you came out your mama's womb, you're walking on to get back home. I hope you don't carry yourself in a way that when you get there, the door open and you hear somebody in the big house say what I heard my mama say in the little house. Y'all can't come in here looking like that. Huh? Huh? All all you hustlers, all you thugs, all you niggas that sit back and do all kind of stuff to try to make it in a white racist system, you ain't getting in that door looking like that. So have fun. Get all your Cadillacs, get all your women, get all your men, get all the fine stuff you want. And then something happened to me. I went around to the backyard and reached under the porch and pulled out them brushes I used to go. I took the white wash steps and stuff, and I brushed it off of me. And I kind of dampened the rag, and I got enough of it off. I went back and said, come on in here, boy, we ready to go. Whatever you got on you tonight, you can get it off. Huh? That's the power you have. My mother could have got it off for me, but she didn't. She just said, you can't come in here looking like this. So y'all play all your games. Hate all these evil, no good, thug white folks. But you can't get in looking like that. Nothing to do but what you look like. You got big legs, big titty, little titty, big body. No. That door don't play that. I sent you here clean. That's what my mama said. I sent you out there clean. And look what you brought me back. The universe of God said, I brought you here clean. And look what you brought me back. I'm not going to burn you in hell. You just can't get in here looking like that. We'll take a break. We'll be back.
Could everyone please hold on for a second? Could everyone please hold on for a second? Give another big hand for Baba Dick Gregory. Y'all enjoying yourselves? Y'all ready for the next part, right? Y'all ready to get back? Well, first we're gonna have to talk. In the back. In the back. Don't forget the people in the back.
Wise men to talk to.
All right, family. So we're gonna keep on moving. Let me see. I think I'm gonna give y'all one more part. No, what you do is you want to go to YouTube and get the rest of this, you know what I'm saying? Because there is a part 2. Let me see, man. Let me see. Might get y'all one more part of this. Let's see if we get y'all one more part of this. All right. Not selfish. I'm not selfish. All right. I'm gonna give y'all one more part.
We appreciate everything that you had a whole lot of ones in your pocket.
Y'all got to share this. That's my nephew right there, raising some donations, you know what I mean, as we do Survivors Nation. So, did that, and we about to continue on a little something. So we're gonna give y'all this last part. Man, y'all gotta share this though, man. We gotta get up in the win. We gotta get up in this YouTube win, and we're gonna need everybody's help. All right.
If you want to get your book signed, Dr. Afrika and Baba Dick Gregory will be signing books.
Dr.
All right?
Afrika,
so let's see y'all again in 10 minutes.
Gregory. Both ancestors now, y'all. Both ancestors now. That's right there. Young Ra. Let's keep it moving. Y'all laugh.
Provide information for inspiration.
That's
for the purpose of elevation.
Whoa.
Do we agree that black people need information? Black people definitely need to be elevated, right? Because the first place the revolution must take place is in our minds, right? In our minds. So our people out there, they doing what they know. They practicing basic European culture is what our people are practicing right now. So we got to teach them African-centered consciousness right now. What we want to do is, many of you bought some raffle tickets, right? So, you know, you want to check your raffles.
We're going to move over to raffle.
You much.
Here we go.
Let me again say we thank and praise God. And let's have another thanks for the folks that put this together, because it's information. Thank you. Let me say to those of you who have come here, whenever you go to a place like this, you owe it to the folks that didn't come to bring a tape recorder and tape or see to it that the brothers and sisters is taping and selling it. Because information, when you hear it one time, it don't mean anything. It's exciting when you hear it over and over and over, and then you see things. Dan Rather, who used to anchor the news on CBS, owns a farm with Donald Rumsfeld in New Mexico, so how can he give me fair news? NBC is owned by General Electric, and if you had General Electric stock, about 98% of your profits come from war materials. ABC is owned by Walt Disney, and all the manuals that the military use for the soldiers is printed by Walt Disney. So you don't have no choice but to find out outside ways, and I'm telling you, this thing is moving fast now, because they got a machine in here. How many of y'all have heard the story that Lincoln is nice, it's bop, 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 but he had no choice but to free the slaves because the machines was coming in and was going to pick the cotton? Huh? Well, they got machines. They got a machine can do brain surgery, a robot, and it's impossible for it to make a mistake. So here's a bad brain surgeon in America makes $6 million a year. In 5 or 6 years, they won't be able to get insurance. I was in Helsinki last year. If we was in Helsinki tonight and went to dinner, lunch, or breakfast, you don't see no humans. You walk into that restaurant and everything is taken care of by computer and machines. It cooks your food, takes your order, delivers you your drink, and this is where this is going. And if you into this whole thing with your thought pattern, you can feel they're getting ready to kill everybody. Those that they can kill. And so when you look and see where this thing is going, and I just thank God for the NAACP. When you think about the NAACP, been on this line for 97 years. Can you imagine what it's like now? What it had to be like 97 years ago? I mean, just think about that for a minute. I mean, they would kill you then and didn't even. Matter of fact, the people who were supposed to make the arrest was probably the ones doing the killing. And when you think about what this movement brought, you know, it's hard to believe. Close that door back there for me, please. It's hard to believe that Dr. King, he wasn't born into no civil rights movement. Dr. King never got into the movement until Rosa Parks, and they came and got him and embarrassed him to get into the movement in 1956. He was killed in 1968. He did all that in 12 years. Huh? That's almost impossible. Huh? Just think about that. All over the world, everybody know King in the movement. He was just here in that movement 12 years. Huh? And everything you see now that's happening happened out of that movement. And if you have a picture of Dr. King, like on Ebony or Jet magazine, about 200 years from now, that picture be worth over $1 million.
All right, fam. All right, fam. We gave y'all over an hour and 50 minutes of this broadcast. We're gonna be doing a lot of these coming down. We got a lot of stuff to share with the people. You know, you want to see the rest, you want to see the whole thing, you know what I'm saying? There's more, probably about another hour of this. You could go to our Patreon page where it has everything there. Become a member of the Patreon page, man. We got some lives get ready to come up, some events, some workshops, different things that's coming up that we'll be doing through Patreon. Get ready to step into the new era, but we need y'all help, you know, to put it out there. Y'all see the Cash Apps and the PayPals jumping off, everything that you do to helping us get to the next level. Y'all know we doing the Reality Speaks. We got the Bonded by the Blade, the bar that's focusing on the barbershop. All that's gonna be kicked off real heavy in 2022. We did some in 2021, just getting ready, but 2022 is gonna be on and popping. So, you know, we got a lot more Dick Gregory. You want to see the rest of this one right here? You know what I'm saying? You want to join our Patreon? We'll have the Patreon in the link. So you'll be able to go in and click this link on YouTube. So go to our YouTube page. First, subscribe. Please share the video. Encourage others. You know what I'm saying? Become a member of our Patreon page. Helps us grow so that we can be able to go to the next level. Soul Vibers Nation. 26 years, y'all. 26 years and counting. And we're going to continue to go and grow. But we thank y'all for joining us with this broadcast with Dr. Lliala Afrika and Baba Dick Gregory is a keynote speaker. So we thank y'all for joining us here. And we will see you, Hotep, peace, Habaragani, because we give this to you on Kwanzaa.